Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to This League. My name's JD. We are going to be recapping USA's gold medal win today. Incredible showing from the United States of America. America still on top. French Revolution down. People saying like Bilal Koulibaly, Zachary Seseseshe, Alex Sarr, Wemby, and whatever other Wemby's little brother, like whatever other young French guys are going to come unthrone us. Like, I need that narrative to stop after this. You know, if they had a chance, it was going to be now. It was going to be these Olympics in France, and we shut them down. Now, granted, the next Olympics aren't going to be as easy. We're not going to have Steph who can just rain threes while we're down 15 on Serbia and keep us within range. We're not going to have LeBron to just go alpha mode. We're not going to have KD. We're going to have to welcome a new group of superstars, and there's 4 years for these guys to, become those guys, okay? Anthony Edwards, Devin Booker will probably have a much bigger role on the next team. He'll only be 30 to 31 or something. But I do like where we are. But before we're going to talk about the 2028 team, I'm going to predict or just give a list of players, I would say. And so here we go. As far as the game, though, we're going to start with the game. Steph Curry's 4 threes in 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes were incredible. They were the daggers that we needed. That wasn't our best game either. I think that whole second half was frustrating to watch. We didn't seem locked. We didn't seem to be in that flow state that we found ourselves in at the end of the Serbia game, but we had a big enough lead. We were better than France enough to hold on to that lead. Now, France cutting it down to 3 in the fourth quarter was as scary as it got, but not that scary at the same time. It was sick watching Wemby cook. He had 26. He had that in and out bang out on Embiid where Book just kind of got out of the way but blew right past him. Gobert was Gobert. He played better than I thought he was going to play. Booker had a great first half, bad second half, but again, the big three, our big three, those pictures, I need to get those framed on a wall or something, the picture of them either yelling at Steph after the Serbia game or the picture of them before the Olympics even started. But those big three attributed in the big moments when we needed them. Throughout the Olympics, LeBron was the MVP, which I think was right. If Steph had played like that the entire Olympics, he would have been MVP. He definitely was the reason that we won those last 2 games. But LeBron had that triple-double against Serbia, had just was consistent the whole way through, and there's not much that you can argue about that. KD not playing a second of the exhibition games and then coming in the first game off the bench and literally not missing a shot, just going 7 for 7, scoring 20 something. They led the way, and let me just say this: I'm a Jordan guy. I love Michael Jordan. I respect the history of the game. I'm not like JJ Redick calling these guys plumbers and whatever. But despite that, I think LeBron has cemented himself for me as the GOAT. Now that is a big statement, and I think more people need to be like me, willing to change, because I think that argument sometimes, and I feel like I even felt it, arguing that Jordan was the GOAT for so long that you don't want to admit it because of who LeBron is. The amount of times he's probably shit on your team or his antics on the court or whatever. But he was an alpha the entire way through. He was the alpha of the tournament. He was the alpha of the best team in the tournament. And he was the alpha of the best of each game, honestly. Watching him be an alpha, repeatedly at age 39, I don't know how you can say he's not the GOAT. 3 gold medals, 4 rings. If he wins another championship, I think it's honestly, sorry about the crunkling, I think it's honestly not even a question. And yeah, I'm ready to declare him the GOAT. I'm a big Jordan guy. I'm like an even bigger Kobe guy. I have a Kobe tattoo, and I still think that LeBron is the GOAT. I do. I'm ready to be. I used to be a denier, but I think I'm like all in on it. You can't say anything else after watching this, because you'd be like, LeBron's not even the best in the league. Well, he completely dominated these Olympics, where the most talent that has ever existed in the game of basketball exists right now, and he was the best player in these Olympics. Even at the end of the Serbia game, Jokic still was affecting the game, but he guarded Jokic like those last few minutes, and Jokic was having a little... Jokic never has trouble, but he was having a little bit of trouble, like physically moving LeBron. Like LeBron is just a bull, and I'm ready to say it. I'm ready to say he's the GOAT. So, I don't know if that's a stain on my legacy or what, but I think it should be looked as a positive. I think everyone should be thinking that. If we're really looking at it, I think LeBron's the GOAT. There's just no other way to put it. All-time scorer. He leads the whole entire history of the NBA in scoring. He already technically did with his playoff points, but they don't count those in those. So even with the playoffs, he has the most points. So there's just really not much else you can say. But KD, Steph gets his gold medal. Steph, that video of him on the plane after winning the chip against Boston, talking about how this is one of the last things he wants to do, sitting next to Clay and Draymond. That was a really cool video that they scrapped up, the Warriors did. He had 60 points over the last 2 games, 24 in the gold medal game, all threes, 8 threes. Just doing what he does best. It was fucking just so beautiful. There's not even words that can describe how cool it is having Steph, Bron, and KD on the same team together for the first and the last time. Fuck. I've been emotional throughout these Olympics, literally watching these guys play, knowing that it's like the last time and the first time. As a basketball fan, I don't know how you can't. And if you really can't, then you are like a generational hater. And I respect that, honestly. But the Devin Booker love continues. It is a love bomb on Devin Booker online. You got Mavs fans, Mav accounts, Mavs burners, like saying, I love him and I respect him. You have all these people just outright saying, I used to hate him and now I love him. He's like, I respect the fuck out of him. He's a great player. When you're watching these teams, the best part of the Olympics is that you can say, hey, I don't like this guy, but I'm going to root for them because I'm an American and this is who we're rooting for, And you see those players in a different light. It's like I've said this before, when you gamble on a team, like picking the Rockets minus like 4.5 against the Grizzlies or whoever the fuck, like you find, like I did that this year. I don't know who they were playing, but it's like, holy shit, Dylan Brooks, nice play. Dylan Brooks, get in his head. Dylan Brooks, like when you have something on the line, you're more likely to root for those guys. So putting down that hate and rooting for Booker, watching all these fans do that was so awesome. And obviously I'm wearing the Suns shirt and the Suns hat, so don't take that with a grain of salt. It's a fact. Okay. The Jason Tatum storyline, though, was a bit annoying. I liked seeing the Boston fans and 96-year-old Bob Cousy, call upon a journalist to interview him so that he can talk shit about Kerr. Boston fans are so good for sports. They are sports. It's a legendary sports town. They have every right to be pissed if that Tatum wasn't playing. But they're wrong. This team was just flat out better with him off. And I think because Kerr set the tone with that, from the beginning of the Olympics, it affected Tatum. When Tatum came in that second game and like just bricked a three off the side of the backboard. It's like Tatum is not himself right now. He's obviously affected by not playing. He's obviously seeing everyone talk about him. And if you have a player who's affected by those sort of things, you can't really play him as much. We played him in the gold medal game, and he wasn't doing shit. I forget, it wasn't the gold medal game, I don't think, but Steph had that fast break, and he bounced it to Tatum so that he could dunk it, just like a little bit of sympathy points. I honestly, if I was a Boston fan, I wouldn't even like want that. Just everyone being like, there he is. Good job. It's like rooting for like it's like rooting for the equipment manager who plays on senior night and like to get a layup. All the players are trying to get him a layup, you know. But Boston fans, relax. Don't worry. Eric Spoelstra will coach Team USA the next couple Olympics, but the one after that, Joe Mazzulla will take over. And then when Tatum is like 38 years old, Joe Mazzulla can get your Celtics and Boston fans get back and just play 38-year-old Jason Tatum, even though he's probably not going to be like LeBron, you know? So you guys can lose us the gold medal in 2032, okay? And Jason Tatum can play every minute of every game, and then you guys can be happy, you know? I think that's really the only solution here. But Joe Mazzulla being the USA coach would be sick. Would be really sick. But on my other point, Eric Spoelstra is the internal favorite to coach 2028. Those are the reports. I think that was the general narrative, but they put out that report yesterday, I think. And I think that's the absolute correct decision. After Coach K, Coach K handled it right. He's a college coach, coached them hard, very well respected, but like came from a college background. So I feel like he was really able to get these guys to practice hard, play hard, prepared them, and they all listened to him because of his status, right? After that, though, Popovich in the 2020, technically 2021, and then Kerr this last Olympics, I just didn't like how during both of those runs it felt like we were losing. Or not that we were losing. It felt like we could lose, because that should never be the feeling with Team USA basketball. It should absolutely never even come close to that. We lost in 2004. What did Coach K do? Brought in a team of fucking savages in 2008, 12, and 16, and it wasn't close, you know? Maybe it was because of the stardom. Maybe it was because of their lack of international coaching. I don't know. But I just didn't like Popovich's or Steve Kerr's approach. Both of them didn't even place in the World Cup the year prior. Now, they didn't have their Olympic team, but I don't think that even happened with Coach K. I'm pretty sure we won everything. Like Popovich, when he coached the World Cup or whatever the fuck it's called in, what would it have been, 2019, we had Donovan Mitchell, Jaylen Brown, and we came in 8th place, I think. And then Steve Kerr coached the team last year with Austin Reeves, Jaren Jackson, Hallie, Jalen Brunson, and they came in 4th. They lost the 3rd place game to Canada, and Dylan Brooks had 47. So, like, that can't happen. And I don't think Spoelstra will let that happen, which is why I'm happy with that decision. Heat culture. I want, like, Team USA's first, like, media practice when they're in the UNLV practice gym. I want them all wearing knee pads, McDavid knee pads, just, like, diving on the floor, wrestling. I want, like, someone to get hurt, even maybe, just slightly. Not an important player, but maybe, like, a replaceable bench player, like, oh, this guy got hurt because of Spoelstra's heat practices. Like, I want that. I want to know that we're going to fucking murder them. And I think Spoelstra is the guy to help us reach that mindset. We've walked through the Olympics because of our talent on many given occasions. But I do think we've reached a point where we should be sending our Olympic team to that World Cup the year prior, just like Coach K did when we lost in 2004. In 06 or 07 or whatever year it was, we sent everyone. We sent like more or less the Olympic team, like give or take a couple guys. I think for this next Olympics and like the ones that are after, the rest of the world is caught up enough to where we need at least that summer before to play together and compete together and know how to play together, so that when the Olympics come, it's not just like throwing it in. I do think we can do that, but I think it's just better off for everyone if we get the team the year before, have them play together, and then have them do it again at the Olympics, right? Destroy their confidence early, because if they don't see this team until the Olympics, they're not going to be scared. But if we beat Germany by 50 in the World Cup like gold medal game in 2027, then when the Olympics come around in 2028 and we're playing Germany, I think there'll be a little more confidence on our side, less confidence on theirs, though, more importantly. So Olympics in 2028 are in Los Angeles. We cannot afford to lose that game in our home country, or those games in our home country and the city of Los Angeles. We have to murder everyone. And they're playing all those games in the new Clippers Stadium, which is exciting. You kind of want them to play them in Staples just because of the history, but the Staples, I think, is doing like gymnastics and all that stuff, and if it's a brand new stadium, it's just better to have them play there. But I also saw this morning that they announced the Clippers are hosting the Suns in the first game there this season, the first ever game in that stadium, so Booker can baptize that stadium. The Suns can win, he can have 50, and then in 4 years he can have like 25 and lead our team to the gold medal. I like that plan for us as Suns fans, or me as a Suns fan. But this 2028 team is going to be interesting in how it's built out. There's been a lot of like random, not random, but like NBA.com, all these websites are like and all these Twitter pages are trying to predict the team. And I did actually try to predict this team. Let me actually look at that. I had it on my notes app. And I want to see actually like how accurate I was. So I had Steph, Dame, Book, Ant, Drew, KD, JT, Bron, Dre, AD, Embiid, Bam. So I was wrong on 2 of them. Dame was replaced with Halliburton, and Dre was replaced with Derek White. So I don't think... So again, looking at the list that I made for 2028, I think it's accurate to say, and then thinking back to like the Redeem team even, like I'm pretty sure we only carried 2 point guards, Chris Paul and Darren Williams those years. So less guards and more bigs is probably the way to go with these Olympic games, just because of the size of some of these teams and the way that they rebound and stuff. I think it is better to have a bigger team. So on that note, like making this 2028 team is very interesting, because at least at the point guard position, because you're gonna have, but this is what I have written down: Ja Morant, Tyrese Halliburton is a guy that like the coaches and just the team, I think once you kind of get that foot in with Team USA, you'd have to do a lot to get out. And if Halliburton continues to play like sick like he has been, then we should be fine. We just need all these young guys to mature over these next 4 years, win some games, win some playoff series, get battle tested, so that when the Olympics come around, like, and we find ourselves in a dogfight with Serbia or France, like, they're not young kids who like die down or like disappear in the moment. Ant won't have that problem, but I have written down, and I might take out Brunson, but I have Ja, Halliburton, and Brunson on the team. But if we follow the model that we've used in the past, 3 point guards is probably too much. So out of those 3, Halliburton's going to be on the team. It'll probably be Ja or Brunson. And like, I think people are forgetting how good Ja Morant is. I think this next season he's going to be fucking ridiculous and absolutely insane. So you can't really like say that he's out, but again, will he try to bring a gun on the international flight to wherever the fuck we do the exhibit? I like to think those days are behind him, But when he was like out this year with the suspension and he came back, he had like a game winner against whoever the fuck they were playing. I watched that whole game. I was like, people are forgetting how good he is. And then he was out the rest of the year with the shoulder, I think. So like, I think people are really forgetting, only after one season of him playing like minimal games, how good he is and how sick he would be in the Olympics. Like, I think we might get back to just dunking on everyone if we have Ja, Ant, Zion. So let me just go through this list. I have Ja, Halliburton, Brunson, but I'll probably take Brunson out. I have Book and Ant, but they'll both probably start. I have here's another one that's probably up for debate, KD. Okay, so KD will be 38, I think, or 39 when the next Olympics happen. Right now he's 34, so if you just add 4 years, he'll be 38. And I think part of him wants just to go down his legacy. He cares a lot about his legacy. That's why he went to Golden State. That's why he went to Brooklyn. That's why every career move that he's made, it's to win and to cement his legacy, and he cares about being great. He loves that he is the all-time Olympic scorer, the most men's gold medals, now with 4. I think he's going to be on the team. People, like, all these lists don't have him on the team. I think he's going to be on the team if he's still in the NBA, which I think he will be after the Suns win, like, 3 championships, the next 3. After the 4th, maybe we let someone else win it, but, like, we can just, like, say, like, KD, you have to be on the team because you are an American legend. That's it. So, I have KD, Tatum, Cooper, Flag. I have Zion and Banchero, Paolo, and then I have Bam and Chet. So this is why I don't think we carry 2 point guards and why Brunson might be swapped out. Like, only having Bam and Chet and then going Zion, Banchero, Tatum, Flag, KD. Like, I think we would want one more, like, big guy, one more bruiser. I have a list of players that I'll list off, but, and then again, like, it's fun to just put all these superstars in, but, like, in between last Olympics and this Olympics, if you would have predicted, like, Derek White would be on the team, no. Like, you would say no. The Olympics before, if you would have predicted JaVale McGee would have been on the team, or Keldon Johnson. Now, Keldon Johnson did replace Kevin Love late, but, like, there's always a couple guys that, like, you don't think would be on the team, who end up being on the team because they play a role. And, like, Team USA, you just want to put together the best players in the NBA on the team, but, like, that's not always the best team. And Spoelstra's going to be running it. I have full faith in Spoelstra to figure it out. Spoelstra and Grant Hill. But again, I have this list of, like, stars, but, like, shit, maybe Tatum doesn't even want to go back. Like, if he is going to get benched, or, like, if there's, like, any doubt. And people have been making good arguments for Tatum. Like, Tatum was the only guy who was first team All-NBA that's on this Olympic team, and he didn't, like, play like a lot, and everyone else did. But that's just, like, this is the Olympics, not the NBA. It's weird. But list of potential players that I have: Cade Cunningham, if he lives up to his potential, 6'8" point guard. We could carry him as a 3rd point guard, and he, just because of his size, he could do everything else. Donovan Mitchell. He was actually on Twitter fucking today talking about how he gave a laughing emoji because Legion Hoops said, which players would you like to see join Team USA for 2028? And they have Ja, Jaylen Brown, Maxey, Chet, Brunson, Paolo, Cooper, Flag, Zion, and Cade. They said, which players would you like to see join Team USA? And it's this tweet. And then Donovan Mitchell quotes it with, like, a laughing emoji. So it sounds like he really wants to be a part of it, even though he was on the 2019 World Cup team that placed 8th, and he wasn't on last year's World Cup team, and he wasn't on this year's Olympics. He seems to be very into the idea of him for sure being an option of making the team. Hats off to you. I don't think it's going to happen. But I have his name written down. Cade, Donovan Mitchell. My favorite sleeper for a guy who, and it might not even be that much of a sleeper, but like a guy who can be the Derek White, and even better probably, is Jalen Williams from the Thunder. And having him like battle against Shea and Lou Dort in like the semifinals or in group play or in the gold medal game or whatever would be electric. But Jalen Williams is like a 6'7" do-it-all guy who would be perfect in the FIBA thing. He's smart. He can get a bucket, but he's smart. And like I think he's okay with guarding and like rebounding and doing whatever. And I think a lot of these young players are going to look at what Book did this year and say, if that's what it takes to make this team, then I want to make it, because the Olympic gold medal is like one of the highest achievements for sure. But Jalen Williams, Derek White, again, even, right? He won't be that old. How old is he right now? He is 30 right now. So 34, who knows, right? Derek Queen is a guy that I have written down. He's going to be a freshman in college. He's Cooper Flagg's class. He was actually Cooper Flagg's teammate at Montverde, but he's one of these young centers that I love. He has watched Jokic and Embiid in these international bigs and their skill sets, and I'm watching him play. I feel like he's a great passer, and I think he is like a younger sleeper who like we haven't even watched play. We'll see how he does this year. I think he's at Maryland, but like he has to play well at Maryland, get drafted, and have a couple of good years in the NBA. There are a lot of guys ahead of him, but like I think his game internationally would fit. And it's a guy that some of you guys might not even have heard of, but I promise you, bro, he's cold as fuck. He's nice. I have Jaylen Brown, who I think would be a great pick. Jaren Jackson Jr. on the World Cup team, another big. De'Aaron Fox, Derek Lively, Evan Mobley, another big. I have LaMelo Ball written down just because I love LaMelo Ball, but probably not. Darius Garland, another like crafty point guard that we could use if Ja didn't want to, or we didn't feel like Brunson really fit it, to join Halliburton as like a skilled, quick guard who can guard these like super crafty guards from these other countries. I think he kind of matches their craft he matches their freak in a way, you could say. Scotty Barnes would be perfect. I don't even need to say shit else. Austin Reeves, because he was on the World Cup team. Another one of those surprise players, right? Cam Johnson, another one. Karl Anthony Towns, if he doesn't play for the DR, just as a big body. But probably not. Jaime Jaquez, Onyeka Okongwu, Brandon Pajemski apparently was loved at when the select team was playing against them. I think they all really enjoyed him, and he really enjoyed his time there. I think he fits that Team USA like selfless sort of thing, even if he does play a little bit selfish with the Warriors. But and then some more young ones. Brandon Miller, who was on the select team. Jalen Duran was on the select team and the World Cup team. And then the last one I have is the Thompson twins, just because I fucking love the Thompson twins. And there's probably some high schoolers who could even do, AJ DeBinsa. That would be crazy. Cade Boozer, but those kids are probably going to have to wait, because I've already listed off a ton of already accomplished NBA players who would be ahead of them on the food chain, if you will. But again, Spoelstra is going to make a team of dogs, and that's all that matters, and it's going to be fucking awesome. But yeah, that's a look ahead. But this has been This League. Thank you for watching. If you did, I think this was a pretty good podcast, and Barstool Sports, hire me, dude. So I'm JD, by the way, and yeah, I'll put out another podcast soon.